No, it's showing me
Okay,
now.
yes, okay, right.
All
And
right.
I,
Okay.
okay, now I have to click, got it. Okay,
All right. So now we're good. All right. So
okay. So
this
now say
meeting,
the part again about
right. So this meeting is called to confirm all the major details, if you will, for Dr. Hiniitz to be able to provide professional development to Ella Baker Charles Romaine Child Development Center associated with Medgar Evers College. And what we had suggested first is for her to do a Zoom, right? Just record it, and we would use that as a basis for our professional development. This way we can break it down, maybe only take a small part of it each time, or look at ways in which we can continue to support the teachers in their development of multiculturalism. Right. So this is what we decided to do, but I'm thinking that we should probably also provide you with an opportunity to actually talk to our teachers, right? To find out, well, how are they implementing it? Like, what are they thinking at some point? So just to have a discussion um, once we get them grounded in it. So one of the things I did today was I spoke to Miss Crafton and I asked her, what does she want as a director to actually get from this? And she said she wants the teachers to understand multiculturalism in their lessons, in their daily lessons, in their daily routines. So there's not like a one-off, but she wants it to be fine-tuned in such a way that it is a automatic process. So they identify cultures in the classroom. We want some, like what are the next steps? And how do we deal with multiculturalism and this whole idea of learning? And the last thing that she said is, hopefully I can read my handwriting. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Oh,
me. I thought I was the only one.
okay, something about next Wednesday, students. Oh, that's me. That was a note for myself. That's probably why I didn't need to read it. It was for
Okay.
me to
By the
meet
way,
them.
I have some notes, so I'm glad that I'm hearing what you wanted because I made some notes for myself when
Okay,
you
so
first,
let's share. Let's share.
and I will share with you when you're ready.
Now I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So first of all, I have to tell you that I worked very closely with Lisa Cipriano Rogalski, the recently deceased, unfortunately, director of Howley School in Trenton. And may I call you Juanita?
Go right ahead. I have no
Okay.
problem.
So
I'm the only one.
Howley
Excuse me.
Howley
Dr.
School.
Highness, I'm the only one with the attitude problem, okay?
Oh,
We get off
okay.
the phone with
So
them, we can be Blythe and Donna. We're
I
good.
don't
But
know
right
if you
now,
know
Dr.
this
Wright,
book, and
let's
I don't know
go.
if you can see it, but this
I've
is the
seen
book
that
that
book
I'm the
before.
co-author of, the Anti-Bullying and Teasing book. And it is available in English and Spanish. Unfortunately, right now, the Spanish version is only available online because they only printed 100 copies of the Spanish version, and I haven't been able to get Griffon House to print it again. The English version is available. But the reason I'm bringing it up is Lisa called me, similar kind of thing to what you all have asked me to do. She wanted, there was some bullying and she wanted me to do some training for the staff. And I went in and I did a workshop with the staff. And one of the activities that I did was I had them all sit around a children's table and I put a pile of pictures of food in the middle of the table. On the table, we had a big sheet of brown paper, like from the rolls of brown paper. And I said, each one of you may have 3 pictures from the pile in the middle of the table, and you can put them any place on this table that you would like. And I gave them 10 minutes to choose their pictures and put the pictures wherever they wanted. And then we looked around the table. And I was there with our graduate assistant because at the time we had a graduate assistant. We didn't have graduate assistants for the last, I don't know, 10 years. But at any rate, and so she was taking notes. And I said, let's go around and let's look and see where each person put the pictures. And where do you both think every single person put the pictures?
In front of them.
Right. Absolutely. And I said, you are adults. We had certified teachers and the teacher assistants. And there were also some quote unquote aides and parents. And I said, think about what the children will do. Therefore, if we're going to do an activity, we want to have individual activities first and then the group activities. And so when we did the anti-bullying and teasing book, there's one activity in there where each child has their own piece of paper and there are piles of pictures and the children can pick all the pictures, but each one has their own paper with their own name on it to do it. And I have pictures of it because Lisa, she should rest in peace, she took pictures of everything in creation. She was a 5-time cancer survivor that finally lost the last one just a couple of weeks ago. So I'm, at any rate, so we have pictures of it. So then they hung up the children's individual pictures on a big bulletin board. And then after that, they could do collaborative. And so in the anti-bullying and teasing book, there is a building activity. And again, one of her teachers was also a student in our master's program at TCNJ. And she did, and I'm letting that phone go to voicemail because I get so many of these, like, this is your bank or this is your electric company. And if they want me, they will, whatever. Anyway, so the one that's in the anti-bullying and teasing book is you have a bunch of cleaned out milk containers, cleaned out cottage cheese containers, all kinds of things. And each child can pick 2 things from a bag or however you have it stored. And I use tea boxes, the boxes that tea bags come in because they're clean. And I use those also for blocks, that you can make little blocks out of them so each child could have their own set of blocks. And so anyway, so each child gets 2 pieces and then they pair up with another child. So they have 4 pieces and they have tape and string and they can put them together. And then each pair meets with another pair until finally you have the whole class. And I have that because I've used it as conference presentations still to this day, of the thing that they created, which was the pilot for the activity that's in the anti-bullying and teasing book. So, I mean, it can be used for any topic. It's in the anti-bullying and teasing book because we were using it for anti-bullying. But so the other thing that I use is this book, which you both are probably familiar with, the anti-bias curriculum, which there's a newer version. I don't like the new version.
Neither do I. I prefer the old version. I prefer the old version. The newer version is just a watered down piece of I don't know what.
Well, it's
watered.
Later thoughts, and she's got a second author. But at any rate, in the anti-bias curriculum book are the persona dolls, and I have used that. Do you use the persona dolls in your center yet?
I don't.
First, define what it is so we can make sure that we're
okay. So, well, I'll read it to you from here. So the persona dolls were created, and what they did is they created them for each child in the room. So if there was a child who wore glasses, there was a child with black hair, brown hair, curly hair, straight hair, a child who used crutches or a wheelchair or whatever. But they created 2 a week until at a certain point they had 1 for every child. But there's actually a video. Dr. Wright, do you have the video that goes with this book? Because I had it at the college. I left it when I
don't remember.
Well, there is.
I don't remember. I will probably figure it out, but I don't remember.
Because in the video that she did with the anti-bias, the original book, there are pictures of some of the persona dolls, and I used it for Yes, yeah. So, but they're created by the teachers and maybe the teachers and children together.
Yeah, that's what I realized. So
Yeah.
usually you buy the multicultural dolls, but these dolls, the persona dolls, are individually made. So it's totally different from the multicultural dolls that we purchase.
Right. And in this case, they're made in the either by the teachers or teachers and children together, whichever way you want to do it. But
Right.
what they did was they at the end of the year, each child got to take home their persona doll as their quote unquote graduation from their class to the next day, so that the next year they started again with making the dolls for each child in the class, and they used them all year long. And the ones in the anti-bias curriculum book, there are stories that go along with them. For example, Maricela lives with her grandmother, and so on and so on. So there's a story for each doll. So the stories can be made up whatever way. I mean, another way to do it is if you want to make the dolls, but then use the classroom dolls for the stories, so that the children's own stories are not necessarily shared. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But the other thing is that I think 2 years ago, it was one of the NACI conferences that was online during the pandemic, the first part of the pandemic. I met a young woman that uses the persona dolls, and her poster was about that. And I actually had her come to my class in 20, let's see, it would have been in the fall of 21. I actually had her come to my class on Zoom and talk about it, because she uses the persona dolls a different way. And if that interests you, I can go back and find her and see if she'll send me. I don't remember whether she sent me her paper or not, but I have to look up her name. But I thought that the persona dolls would be an interesting thing to do, because there are so many different ways that you can use it. And then, Dr. Wright, can I share my screen? Did you do it so multiple people can share a screen?
Hold on one second. All right, see if you can share now.
All right. I want to show you that I found something. Let's see, where is she? There she is. Can you see that?
Yes, Charity Bailey.
Charity Bailey. Do you know Charity Bailey? Know of Charity Bailey?
No,
Do
I
either
don't.
of you?
No.
Okay, so I have to tell you that when I was a student at Brooklyn College, and that's a long time ago, I actually got to hear Charity Bailey in concert. But if you know the song, hello, everybody, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Hello, everybody, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, my darling. I went down too low, but anyway, she wrote that song, and she has a songbook. And when I first came to the college, one of the reasons they hired me was to be the director of the campus child care center, which was a Head Start center, which doesn't exist anymore for various reasons at the college. Right. Well, I'm glad your college still has a child care center. But I used to do music with the children in the Head Start center. We had two Head Start classes, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds on the campus, and it was also used as a campus childcare. And I would start every meeting with singing that song, and I would say, you know, hello to, and the teacher would point to a child and say the child's name, and then everybody would sing to that, and would go on and on. I mean, I won't do that on the video, but I could do it to 1 or 2 people. Because I probably want somebody to be on the Zoom so that I wasn't a talking head. But I always would like to start with a song, if that makes sense to you. So that's why I wanted to show you. And Charity Bailey actually was on the faculty at Little Red Schoolhouse.
Oh, which I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, and how do I know that? Because the historian of Little Red Schoolhouse and I did some work together because he is a historian. I think he's retired. He was actually the head of the upper school, the high school. And then he was actually on the staff as the historian for a while, and I haven't heard from him. But they did that centennial of the 100 years and some other things. They have a lot of things in their archives about Charity Bailey. But so what do you think of that idea of starting with the song?
I think that having them integrate songs from
Hi.
different cultures that are in the school. So let's say if the children are if there's some children from the Caribbean, they would know good morning, good morning, good morning to you. No, that's not the one. What's the other one? There's another morning one. Anyway, that's not the one. But what's the other morning one, Miss Crafton?
The one they're singing right now, Hello, how are you?
No. There's another morning one. Anyway, I can't remember right now.
Hello, how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. I've heard that one.
No. Anyway, the point is, they could sing songs from different cultures as a way of incorporating cultures. And if there are different languages, they can learn to sing the song in different languages. Not necessarily for them to speak the language, but at least they will become familiar with the articulation associated with that language, and they could know what it is, like how we sing, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
Like
Right.
row your boat or something in different
Right.
languages.
So,
Yeah.
right. So it could be a song that's specific to that culture, because every culture has children's songs. So I like that idea in terms of songs.
But as an introduction, I want to use that Charity Bailey song at the beginning and the end, because what I would do every time I would meet with the children was to start with hello everybody, whether we went around the class or not, and we always ended with goodbye everybody, yes indeed, and so that there was closure to the time period. And the teachers adopted it, interestingly, for circle time.
Right.
That they sometimes would end circle time with a song.
Okay.
For closure, because sometimes the children don't know. So it depends on what model you're using. For instance, if you're using the high scope model where you're sending the children out, they're leaving, so there's no finite closure. But if you're doing a circle time where, let's say, you're reading a book and you're having a discussion, a song can help to end the discussion, and the song could be even related to the book. We can look, I mean, there's so many bibliographies of books, and actually Cindy, the teacher, my former student who has been working in the same job that I got for her for 15 years, with the director of the center, is also a graduate with 2 degrees from TCNJ. That she has adopted a lot of these things too, and I can ask her to remind me some things, because she worked online. I don't know what you did with your child care center, but for a year and a half she was working with 3 and 4-year-olds online.
That's what
and
we did. That's what
amazing.
That's what we did.
Yeah. So
so let me just summarize where we're at so far. So in terms of multiculturalism, you say that there's a project that you think that they should do, where they learn that, I think the project should be that although that they're different, they seem like they're the same, or they're able to work together, something like that.
That everybody, for instance, has blood, no matter what your skin tone is, which I want to tell you about another activity. Yeah.
Okay, so some activity like that. You're also suggesting songs from different cultures as a way to begin or end a session, right? And you're suggesting that we also can incorporate Charity Bailey into as well, and begin with her song and end with her song, her goodbye song, all according. I guess the director will work out all those other kinds of things. So now my other question that I want to ask you is looking at the early childhood curriculum. I'll just go through it really, really quickly. It talks about things like goods and services. It talks about all about me, my family. It also discusses transportation, houses. And often when we talk about houses, you know, Africa is a very modern place, but they will find the hut and bring the hut in as a representation of Africa, where it's a representation of the most rural areas of Africa, at least the things that I've seen, right? So how do we go about incorporating multiculturalism into the into those curricular frameworks?
Well, so actually, pretty much all of them are in the anti-bullying and teasing book. Because all about me is in there, family is in there, houses is in there. In fact, one of the activities and one of the things that I always do, and we did it to introduce, when we did the pilot project that led to the anti-bullying and teasing book, the first thing we did was to have a parent meeting for each class. So I went down to Trenton at night, 2 different nights, because she had all the parents from the 3-year-old classes one night, and the other night she had all the parents of the children from the 4-year-old classes, and we had them do the activities that we were then going to pilot with the children. We did it with the parents first so that they could see what they were, and we had some of the books that we were going to use there also. So we had the 2 parent workshops, and it was very interesting to do that. And then we had periodic, of course, they had regularly scheduled parent meetings because it was part of the Abbott program in New Jersey, which doesn't exist in the same form now. But at the time when we were doing this work, Abbott was a state-funded program that grew out of a court case, Abbott versus Burke. Burke was the Commissioner of Education in New Jersey at the time. When somebody sued the state of New Jersey because they felt that because they were culturally different, they didn't receive the best possible education. And out of that came very good money for very good quality early childhood programs. And the regulations that came out of that still exist today. But and Lisa's center, Howley School, which still exists, was an Abbott school, and actually it was a demonstration school. So they had to have periodic parent meetings. And so one of the parent meetings that we had while we were doing the pilot program was having the parents draw a picture of their house. And it was very fascinating because many of them drew the house. I have a house that if somebody asked me to draw a house, I draw a house. Now, I grew up in Brooklyn. I lived on the 5th floor of an apartment building. But when I drew a house in school, I drew this little house with a chimney, with 2 windows and a door. Like, I never drew an apartment house when I was drawing a house. And in Trenton, we have both private homes that the children live in, and we have projects.
Right.
And we also have other kinds of housing. And the great majority of the parents, I think only one drew an apartment building. And there was more than one that lived in an apartment building. So, as I say, we had them do the child activities so that they could see and so that they could feel comfortable and so that they could talk about it and tell us if there were things that either didn't work with their religious background, didn't work with their family culture, or also what they liked. And they also had to, at the end of each workshop, they had to fill out a no-name response sheet so that we got legitimate feedback because their name wasn't on it. They could write whatever they wanted. And Lisa tallied those up, and we have reported on those at AERA and NAYC and ACEI and a bunch of other places all around the world. So that's one. Another thing that I have is a set of questions which can be asked of children or asked of parents. And I actually developed that for my department at TCNJ many, many, many years ago. And I have this huge notebook, which I didn't take out today because I just wanted to pull out a couple of things. But the list of questions are, for example, we were going to have the Halloween play, and we asked Tran and Jessica to dress up as ghosts. And Tran's mother came running up the next day and said, "No, you can't do that." Why? So I'm asking you, what's the answer? Why would Tran's mother not want Tran to dress up as a ghost?
Could be her religious beliefs.
It could be, but in this case, it wasn't. It was something else.
I lost you.
It was not a religious belief, but it was another belief of the family. And I used a quote unquote stereotypical name, Tran, because Tran was Vietnamese. Does that help?
Okay.
Because if not, I'll tell you the
Yeah,
answer.
tell me.
All right. So the answer is that in the Vietnamese culture, as in many Asian cultures, white is used for mourning, M-O-U-R-N, as we use black in our cultures. And so there is no way that a Vietnamese parent would let her child be dressed up in white because it would put a bad omen on the child. So I have a whole list of questions like that. And they've been used with children, and they've been used with parent meetings as well. And actually, I use them in my classes too. When I would introduce a multicultural module in my classes in social studies, or in the intro to early childhood course, or the graduate intro to early childhood course, I would give those, and it's amazing the lack of knowledge that adults have. Adults who are educators, even, if they're in a master's program, maybe they're elementary certified and they're going for early childhood certification, which is a different thing in New Jersey, and couldn't answer many of those questions. So that's another vehicle. And there's a way to talk to children about them as well.
So far now for the webinar, it sounds like there's different parts. It sounds like there's an assessment part that you would introduce for parents and for teachers. It also sounds though you would be introducing something which I'm not that clear of, but I'm sure you'll demonstrate, where children understand that they're same but different, right? With that exercise you said from the bullying book. Then you also said you would you suggest that we use songs from different, I'm saying from different cultures, as a way of providing for transition spaces. And lastly, you suggested that we use Charity Bailey, who looks like a woman of color, and we'll research her as a way of introducing her, and also introducing her classic songs at the beginning and the ending.
And I have her songbook. There's other songs.
Right. So then the other thing that you said, so in some of the references, so from the bullying book, you said that you have things from about houses. You mentioned one just now. You said that you have.
I'm going to read you the table of contents so you can see the names of it. Okay, so the book is divided into themes, and there's a family involvement section in the book. There's also a section about setting up the classroom environment. But then the theme, so there's the community theme, and the community theme has rules for a friendly classroom, rules for a friendly playground, alike and different story and chart, alike and different families, family sharing, make a family book, favorite foods collage. That's the one that I was telling you about, where we
Right,
started
right.
them doing the individual one, getting ready to build, and the class building project. That's the other one that I was telling you about. So that's the community theme. The feelings theme, I feel welcome, song, chart, and poem. I feel unwelcome, feeling left out, class party, and then feeling grouchy and glad, sad, mad.
So, so
Friendship theme,
I'm
and
sorry.
teasing
The,
and
o-
bullying.
the other presenter is going to be dealing with the socio-emotional. So the stuff about happy and mad, that wouldn't perhaps fit in at this time. But the community theme definitely does. Any examples of incorporating multiculturalism in transportation and in themes such as goods and services? um, that would be so that sounds, if you gave those three examples and what we just said in terms of the different kinds of assessment that you can use, family suggestions for family involvement, that assessment, the music piece where there's different musical songs from different cultures, and we use Charity Bailey and we end and begin a session perhaps with her, and then the stuff about community goods and services, family. That would, to me, would be a good structure for the webinar, because you introduce, and everything has got to relate to multiculturalism throughout. So you introduce the multiculturalism, you talk about how it can be assessed, you talk about how you can build class community, and then you go through examples of ways in which students can, not students, teachers can seamlessly integrate multiculturalism with those examples. And then that to
Tell
me
you,
would be great.
let me tell you the egg story. And by the way, I'm really glad you're recording this, because I want to go back to it about the eggs. And this is from an old book from when I was a beginning teacher. It's about using brown shell eggs and white shell eggs. And so you bring in the eggs, 2 raw eggs, and you ask the children to tell you what they think about these eggs, how are they alike and how are they different, see what the children say. And then you break open each egg into a separate bowl. And then you mix them together and you make scrambled eggs. But they've seen that whether the inside came from the brown shell egg or whether the inside came from the white shell egg, what's inside is still the egg yolk and the rest of the egg. And when you scramble it together, it makes nice scrambled eggs. And it's a community of eggs, if you will.
That's also a nice one.
But which I love that one. I've used it over and over and over again.
You know what else, Dr. Hiniitz? I was thinking, I remember before, some years ago, when we started working together, and you spoke to me about Israel and the kindergarten, when we said we were going to go there one day if it ever stops there being some issues.
Oh no, there's a conference in June of 23. I'm already getting my proposal ready.
Oh, so we'll talk about that.
I'll send it to you.
We'll talk about that. So when we say, when the Jewish people say never again, they really mean never again. And you said that there's certain things that are done in the kindergarten age. Could you also share that at this, share some of it, not all of it, but share some of it with us as well during that webinar?
You're talking about the Holocaust?
The Holocaust, yes.
So, all right, the state of New Jersey actually has a K-3 curriculum for Holocaust. Pennsylvania does not have, and I think New York State also has a Holocaust curriculum. And I will ask you if you can find out for me whether it does, and if you can find me a URL for that, because that would be helpful to me. And I'm going to tell you 2 other things. So the state of New Jersey has a mandated grade 4 to 12 Holocaust curriculum where they learn about the actual Holocaust. But they also have a K-3 curriculum kind of pre-Holocaust studies. And it uses books like the Mitten book. Do you know that Mitten book?
I think so.
And so I could talk about that. I could talk about the K-3 curriculum.
Yes, that would be helpful, because just especially as I'm not trying to bring Marcus Garvey in schools to the Medgar Evers College Center. That's not my aim, but I think it's a good idea to show how other cultures deal with their tragedies, their historical tragedies.
Well, and yeah, and because I used that in my social studies class in talking about things like the Armenian genocide in Turkey.
Absolutely.
And those kinds of things. And at my college, actually, the Holocaust genocide minor is now a major. That's Ellen Friedman, who came the same year I did to TCNJ, and she just retired. She stayed on one more year after I retired, but
So-
she
she was able to get that word out there. So I think that would also help us to have a better understanding of, where do we go with multiculturalism? Because multiculturalism goes into being culturally responsive. And definitely a part of being culturally responsive is being able to talk about the tragedies honestly, but in a very age-appropriate way. So I'd be interested really to see more of that, how it's done in Israel and how it's done in New Jersey. And I'll do some research when I get back to New York to see if it exists in New York.
Well, I'm going to, New York State probably does, because New Jersey had it, but.
For New York, I'm just looking at it.
It has
Okay.
one?
Jewish heritage, there is a curriculum.
Okay, cool.
And I think it was developed with the Department of Education.
Okay.
So it's the Holocaust Curriculum NYC.
Okay.
Can you send me that URL, please? Email it to me, so the URL, so I can get it, because that will be a big help. Thank you. Because you have my email, because I responded.
So those are some of the things that I think that would give us a really action-packed webinar. We just have to get a date from you as to when you feel comfortable. Well, we don't need the date. You just do it when you feel comfortable, right?
Oh, no. There's a couple of things.
Okay.
Okay. For instance, number one, do you want it to be a talking head like this, like with this background, or do you want it in a classroom, in which case I'd have to go up to the college and try to use their room when nobody's using it? I mean, how do you want to do it?
That's the director's question. So, Ms. Crafton, what do you want? How do you want it to be?
I would prefer the classroom, but then you said you have to go.
Well, I have to go to the college. I mean, during COVID, it was easier because, the classroom, that the particular class, we have a college classroom that we made that has all the centers from a child care center classroom, and it's a college classroom. And I made a film on anti-bullying that has 4 parts that I used in my social studies classes and some of my other classes. And it uses one of the stories from the anti-bullying teasing book. And the main characters in the video in all 4 parts are Cindy and her teacher assistant at the time, who retired. The assistant is a minister's wife, and she retired because he needed a lot of help during COVID. So she retired and wasn't working anymore, but she's in the video. And so it's English and Spanish, and it demonstrates using a book that's in English and Spanish, because in the classrooms at the school where Cindy teaches, which is not Howley School, it's another school, and I'm blocking the name of it right now, but they always have one Spanish speaking person and one English speaking person in the classroom, because a great majority of their students come in speaking only Spanish. And so they always have bilingual staff in each of the classrooms, and also the people in the administrative. But why did I start to? So we have used that classroom before. I just have to make an appointment for a time when no class is using it. So it may, even though I really don't want to, I'm having some minor surgery at the end of August, and classes begin at TCNJ on the 29th of August. And so try to see if I can put this together. What I'm going to do is, after I look at this video, I'm going to write a script, and I'm going to send it to both of you.
Okay.
And you'll tell me what you think.
Fabulous.
But it's essentially going to be a talking head, no matter whether I'm here or there, right? There's not going to be anybody.
But, and that's why, and that's okay, because what we're going to do is, in our weekly PGs, we're going to take each piece of it. So we'll take a different section of it each time, and we'll review it, discuss it, have them discuss it. And we have a person that's appointed as the cultural whatever, the cultural liaison, and that person has the responsibility of helping all the other staff members integrate it. So.
Okay, I'm just trying to think, because one of the things that happened when we went to do this film that I did is we couldn't do it on Zoom because it was in the classroom.
So then don't worry about it. Just
okay. So don't
worry about it.
That's fine.
Don't stress. If it's not a flow, don't stress. It's not.
Yeah, I just said I wouldn't mind the classroom, but it sounds like it's a whole thing together. So just don't worry about it.
No, well, because what we wanted to do was we wanted it to be on Zoom, and when the tech people came in, they said we can't do it, but we brought a camera. So I have that film, and I could show it to you at some point if you're interested to see it. Okay. If there's any of that you could use, because it's reading the book. It's that book that the kindergarten children did that, what is the name of it? I've forgotten what the name of it is off the top of my head. But it's the book that the kindergarten class in Cheltenham did, that Scholastic puts out. And I actually have 2 copies of it, because I have the original one, and then I also have the newer version. But that is multicultural. Actually, we might be able to run in part of, I'm going to look at my video and see. I now have to know what I did with it. I have to remember what I did with it. But I'll find it. Okay. Because we could probably use that as a demonstration, because that's a teacher and her assistant, and what she's demonstrating, and why I use it in my class, what she's demonstrating is how you teach.
Thank you.
No problem. Online. So they demonstrated what they said to the parents beforehand. So what they did is they had a time during each morning session where they talked to the parents and gave them kind of do-nows for what they had to do for the next couple of days. And then the parents would do things with the children, and they would send them in to the teacher. And then she would use them, and she would show some of them on the screen. So she does a demonstration of that. That's one section. The second section is the 2 of them reading the book in English and Spanish, and asking questions. And the last piece of it is a discussion that I had with the 2 of them. And it went off into all kinds of things about curriculum and so on. I can make another time to show you that.
Okay.
If you want. Because I'm thinking that I might prefer to do it in the beginning of September because the last week in August is kind of too close
Okay.
for me to send it and to have it come back.
So you'll do the transcript in the beginning of September and send it to us.
I'm gonna send you the script.
Oh, you're gonna
by
send
the
it, that's
end-
what I mean,
by
the
the end
script.
by the end of next week. I just don't,
Okay.
I don't know. It's gonna depend on, it's actually gonna depend on how the bibliography.
All right, so you're gonna send the script, and then the following week, which is the first week of September, you'll send the video, the Zoom.
Well, I'm going to send the script, and I think somewhere in there you
I
might want to
can't-
look at the video.
now I
You might
hear
want to
you.
look at the film.
Okay.
To see if there's
Sorry
any
about
parts
that.
of that you want.
Mhm.
Because if you want it, when I'm recording the Zoom, I'd have to fold the video into it.
Right.
Because you can put in things afterwards, but it's much harder to put
It's
it in
much more
afterwards.
difficult. It's easier for you to fold it
So,
in.
I would send the script, then you could look at the film to see if there's any parts. I'm writing myself notes here. See if any parts that you want to use. And then I would do the video on Zoom.
Okay.
And then it would be a recording. I don't know how to send Zoom recordings from one place to the other. I think I can give access, but the way the TCNJ Zoom works, the recordings are kept for, I forgot if it's 3 months or 6 months, and then they delete it unless you tell them not to delete it, which I can do.
So, but we are able to download, we would be able to download it from TCNJ?
You can view, because there's a URL for the person who makes the Zoom, and then there's a URL for the viewers. So I could give you, let's see, I would have to, and I can talk to, I'm going to talk to my.
Right,
I'm gonna
because we
talk-
would want that URL.
Right.
Right.
If it's a, so okay, maybe I'm missing out something. But if it's a regular recording, it doesn't have to be a Zoom. It would be just a regular recording of you presenting the information, right? Is that, I missed
Well,
out.
if it's a,
thing?
The only way I can record it is on Zoom, if I'm
Right.
doing it on my computer.
right. So if you're doing it on your computer,
Because the other way would be that I have to go into the college and make a whole to-do with them, because I'm retired now, about, I mean, they will do it. They will do it for me because I'm
Right.
emeritus faculty, but and I know the TV people because I've been working with them for years. I have a video that I made in the 1970s when I first came to the college, actually 2 videos that I still have. But I'll talk to them and see
so
what
because,
the best way to
well,
do it.
because the idea is that we would want to keep that
Right.
that video. We want access. So we would want to be able to download it so we could be able to refer to
Right.
it. Not
Okay.
just this month, but next month, but the
Right.
month after.
Right.
So
And-
whatever
and-
way that you can facilitate that is what we want.
That may end up having to be a TV recording in the classroom, but I will ask them.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. When you do your Zoom
Yeah.
and you get the recording, don't you get the recording doesn't the recording come to your computer or your cloud?
Yes. But
Then-
so I could send you the user URL, but the only one that can access the maker URL is me, because it's coming out of my email. It's the TCNJ Zoom.
So
That
I'm
I
wondering,
can't
no,
give
what
you
I'm gonna,
that.
no, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna send you on the day that you want to do it. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link from Medgar Evers College. This way I automatically have it.
Okay, that works. But I'm going to talk to Judy, who is my go-to person.
But I'm gonna send you that, as far as I'm concerned, this has been solved. I'm sending you a link. I will make you the host, and you'll be able to do whatever you need to do.
Right.
And you said that you want somebody there to say, hey, yay, you know, whatever. So I'll be the hey, yay person.
Okay, so you're gonna make me a co-host.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So that you can share your screen, you can do whatever you need to do. And at the end of the day,
Okay.
we have it. And that's
You
probably
have
to
it.
me the easiest way to do it.
Okay, and then you will have to send it to me because
Well, I'll just send it to you. That's not
Right.
going to be a
Right.
problem because when I download it, I'm going to download it to my computer, and then you'll just tell me how to send it to you. I can send it over
okay.
Google Drive, and like how we were
Okay.
doing before when we were
Yeah, I
writing the
have
article.
Google Drive. Yeah,
Exactly,
if you shared something on Google Drive, I would get it.
exactly, because we've done that
Yeah.
already.
Oh, that's good.
So then
Okay.
we'll just do that, and that just ends that one. That one is done. Yay!
Yeah.
All right,
So
so
now,
we'll
oh
hear
no,
from everyone.
wait. One thing that you didn't tell me. So
Mhm.
what is the time frame for this? How many minutes do you want this to be? Because we said one thing and then you said something else. You told me 2 or 3 different time frames.
Okay.
How long do you want this to
Based
be?
upon what we have just gone over, how long do you think you need in order to do that?
Well, I mean, a normal short class at the college is like hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half. I mean, what we just talked about could take that. I mean, it could take much more. It couldn't take it won't take less than an hour and a half.
Exactly. So let's say no more than an hour and a half. And like I
Okay.
said, we're going to cut it up into, not cut it up, but we're
Yeah.
only going to show each section. So if you do it as if it's sections, that will also frame it for
Well,
us.
that's why I told you about this video that I made for my class, because it's 4 sections.
Right, right.
It's
right.
the section for the parents, it's the section of them reading the book,
Mhm.
and then there's
But
an
that
activity
doesn't,
section.
but that won't go into the things that we just discussed.
Yeah, no. But what I'm
Oh.
saying is that's the same model.
Okay, I got what you're
That
saying.
it's
Right.
in sections.
Absolutely. So that same kind of model is a good model. So are we good? Are we fine? Everybody knows
I
what's
need to
gonna
talk
happen?
to you about the other thing before we get off.
No problem. So Miss Crafton, I'll call you just now. Okay.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes. Let me run.
No,
to get-
I'll call you just now. I'll call
Okay.
you back just now. Don't worry about
All
it.
right,
So you
later.
have your time. You don't have to run.
Okay, all right, later.
All right. Okay, cool.
All right, bye.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice meeting you too. Looking forward to those videos. Well, to that video. Oh, one thing we have to discuss. So the time frame for that would be like around October, right? Around the first week in October. By then, you should have the video ready for us to view.
No,
Well,
I'm going to
before
do this
that-
in September because I'm going to do it before Rosh Hashanah. So
Yeah,
no,
this is gonna
I'll
be
do
done.
it, but it's just not going to be the end of August. It'll be in the
It'll be-
beginning of September sometime.
Right.
Possibly after Labor Day, but I'm not sure. When do you?
Dr. Wright, when you call me,
Mhm.
reminds me that I have to tell you a date.
Okay, a date for something for me to do. Okay.
Yes, a date. All
All right,
right.
no problem.
Thank you.
No
All
problem.
right, bye.
All right, then, bye-bye. Okay, she's gone. All right, so where are we? And thank you so very much, Live, for agreeing to do this. I appreciate it.
Pulling this up, can you see it? This is the thing that I sent you about
From TC Prep.
the TC Press. These are the chapters. So I want to know if you're willing to be the co-writer of the review.
Of the review. The only thing is that I'm writing 2 things now that I have to finish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
They're gonna
available.
give me 3 months, Donna.
They're giving you 3 months?
They're
That's
gonna
what?
give me 3 months from the day I receive the book.
Oh, from the day you receive the book. Because I wouldn't be able to do anything like that until January. I wouldn't be able to participate until January.
Let's say if I get it September, October, November.
October,
No.
November.
Because I'll tell you which ones. See, that's why I pulled this up. Because, for instance, I would love for you to do chapter 2. You know, I think that we should both read the whole book. But I would love for you to do maybe chapter 2, maybe chapter 5, and chapter 4. and particularly chapter 4, because whenever I see a chapter or a book with a title like that, and I've reviewed one book like that, and the journal refused to use my review, which is why I want somebody else.
You said they usually refuse to use your review?
I had a book about Palestinians, and I did a review of it, and I actually showed it to Harleen, my friend who proofreads a lot of my stuff, and she said it was fine. And I sent it into this particular journal, and they refused to use it.
Why?
So,
I mean, what did you say? What was the content?
well, I mean, I was trying to be even-handed, and I guess they wanted something that was biased. I don't know, but that's why.
See, automatically that title, I don't believe that existence is resistance. I just don't. I think that's I can't do that as someone who looks at human rights. But to think that somebody merely existing is a resistance, that is a shame and a sham.
Okay, so see, that's it. So I need to have a discussion with someone. So please agree to do this with me.
Okay, the only thing I won't be able, let's pray that I can, while I'm here in Jamaica, I got to finish one article.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you something. I mean, I don't mind writing it, because what we could do is we could do a Zoom and record it. In other words, if you would read it and we could record it, I don't mind writing it.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
That I can do.
Because then they'll give me an address for them to send the book to.
190 Vernon Avenue.
190.
Vernon Avenue.
VERNON Avenue.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
11206.
11206. Okay. Because I'll have them send you the book.
Right. But I know I won't be able to begin it until not before December. There's no way.
Okay.
I know
reading the book.
Oh, I can. Well, once I get it, the reading is not a problem.
No, so because what I want you to do is read and discuss it with me. As I said, I don't mind writing it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't have a problem writing it.
Okay.
That's fine.
It's just that. Okay.
I need a person where we can bounce ideas off each other. And see, I know that you and I have some similar ideas and some different ideas coming from our own personal backgrounds.
Absolutely.
And this is the kind of book that needs that.
Right. Because when I saw that first thing, I already know that the title is off. You cannot possibly think that existing is a form of resistance. I understand the fact that you've existed, you think that's a resistance, but you can't possibly think that's plausible for the 21st century as an argument. You just can't possibly think that you've lost your mind. It doesn't.
At the end of our discussion with Juanita, we were talking about Holocaust, and there is a stream within Holocaust studies that says that by our existence, because for instance the one of the two papers that I gave in Oxford was five women who survived the Holocaust, and each one of them married. 4 of them married soldiers who liberated the camps, but the 5th one is somebody that I know who's a member of one of 2 congregations that I belong to, and he's also a psychologist. And he wrote a book about his mother, who was a survivor. And in the pictures that he gave me to use in my presentation in Oxford, there's a picture of his mother and a picture of his daughter, which would have been the grandchild. And it's incredible. I mean, with his mother, it was that she dyed her hair red to go back to her original color, but his daughter has flaming red hair that's the same, and it looks like it could have been the same person. It's amazing. And I showed those two.
That happens all of the time. I mean, I had an uncle that swore that I looked, which I didn't believe, but swore that I looked just like my mother when she was a younger woman. And he used to always like, oh my goodness, you act like your mother. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't act like that lady. You know what I'm saying? You know how people feel about their mothers. No, I'm not going to be like her. No, 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 not me. And then, you know, as you get older, you realize how great they were. You know, but when you're growing up, it's like, I used to just think my mother was crazy. I'm like, this woman, because she used to say, I brought you here and you know I will take you out. So think that you're not going to behave yourself. See, let's see what's going to happen. And she was very calm. And she used to say it very calmly. And I used to say, you know, she's too calm here. Maybe she'll do it.
Well, no, I'll tell you the story. When my father died, my mother put most of her information on the other side. It's a double stone.
Right,
So
right.
my mother had her name put on and her birth date put on the stone. And my sister and I couldn't understand why she did that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like,
Wait a
she's
minute.
crazy. Why would she do that? She's still here.
So,
Right.
all right. And when my mother died, they added the rest of the information to the
Right.
stone. Okay. Well, I understand now, because when Herman died, I bought a double stone and my name is on there and my birth date is on there. You know why? I'm all alone. I don't have any children. And they can put on, and they know how I want it on, because they can see from his side, and they can just put the other information on to match it. So when I had to do it,
then you understand.
I understood why she did it, but until that day, I didn't understand why she did it.
Exactly. And I also understand why my mother was so hard with me. You know, I didn't understand it then, but I said to myself, if one of my children ever did anything that I did, like on any of my little antics, oh no, it would not happen. It just would not happen. And my mother loved when I talked like that. She said, right, but you drove us crazy. And it's not that I was a bad child. I was just so different, you know. I would come to Jamaica and take off my shoes and start walking around, you know, the street with no shoes on. My mother was like incensed. And how dare I? My family worked for my uncle worked for the government, high up in there. How dare I, in this upper middle class neighborhood, be walking around with no shoes on, and it wasn't necessary. And I couldn't understand what their problem was. But now, as an adult, I'm saying to myself, I would have just, but now I also understand why they sent me to Jamaica all the time. I needed to climb trees and stuff. I needed that. All right,
Well,
so
you couldn't do that in Brooklyn, that's
no,
for sure.
no, not really. Not absolutely, not really. Not really. Okay, so we're good?
I think so.
I think
I'm
so.
going to get in touch with TC Press and send them your address so they can send the book to you. And then I will, I agree that I will do the writing, but we can have at least one or two conversations.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right then.
Take care. Be
All right
safe.
then, dear. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you too. Okay, the contract has been sent to the purchaser's attorney. Okay. Oh, wonderful. All right, so that's the next step. All right, that's all I'm calling for. I was just informed of that, so I'm letting you know. So you can inform Dave as well that the contract has been sent to the purchaser's attorney for their signature. Okay?
Is that all you have to say?
Yeah, because I have another Zoom call, then I'll call you back. All right, cool. All right, turn off my phone.
Foolishness.
Hi, dear. Can you come back on the Zoom? Can you come back on the Zoom?
Just a second.
Okay, I'm on the Zoom, so whenever you come back, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
All right, cool. Where did I put my glasses? Where did I put my glasses? Oh, here they are.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you?
A long-winded. You can't hear me. She's a little long-winded, but I wanted to make sure that I kept her on.
On track, right?
So that because we're not doing something on bullying, we're doing something on
Right.
something.
Now that is the thing I wanted to ask you. It sounds more anti-bullying than
No, it's supposed to be multicultural. That's why I'm glad she's sending the script.
right. It has to be more multicultural and how the teachers can the eggshell experiment, I like that. Now the Holocaust curriculum for New York State is for middle and high school students. So it's
Right, but I want her kindergarten to third grade curriculum, and I want her to talk about what they do in Israel.
Okay.
Because notice they have a curriculum. Where's your curriculum then? Show me your curriculum. Where's your anti-slavery? Where's your curriculum? They used to have one, but they don't use it. I don't even think they really ever use it.
Right.
But your curriculum is Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and Frederick Douglass. And if
Right.
you're lucky, W.B. Du Bois, but you'll never hear about Marcus Garvey. That will never happen.
Right. So I don't know.
So I liked her ideas. I liked also her idea about everybody should draw the way their house exactly looks. And we can talk about diversity in terms of that. I like that idea.
Right.
The egg idea. The box
Right.
one, I wasn't too sure what she was doing with that one. That's why the script, why you think I said I want to see let's see the script.
Right. We do need to see it so we can figure this out, right?
We can
And
make
then
sure that there's going to be.
the song Charity Bailey.
Mhm.
So then I need to look at this song because, like, for our children, their culture is call and response.
So here we come to multiculturalism, right? Because we
Right.
would have to change it to make it call and response. Charity
Right.
Bailey looks like a Black woman, which means
But then-
then she would theoretically be from the South, but guess what? She had to use whatever is existing for it to be accepted.
Right. So when the script come, we have to look at it closely because
Right, and then,
what I had in my mind,
Go on.
my expectations in my mind is not, I'm
Okay,
not feeling it.
okay, say what you feel, what you have.
Right. What I was telling you this morning. So when I saw the anti-bullying book, that and teasing, and then I looked at the chapters. Actually, I bought the book so that I can look at it. So I ordered it off Amazon so I can look at it and see exactly what it is and how it's going to be related.
No, we don't want that.
The topics have nothing
No,
to
we
do.
don't. No, we don't want that. What we want is the parts of her curriculum that talks about all about me. And if those pieces are there, we take it out. We don't talk about the bullying thing. We take that out and we use that.
Right.
That's how I'm hearing her, and that's my expectation. The reason why I suggested her is because, first of all, she's big in NAAYC. She's also pretty big in OMEP, right? Very respected in OMEP. I think she's a regional leader or something. And her place in early childhood education, she's a name dropper. So you hear her saying the things that she's saying about this and that and whatnot.
Right.
But it's her total experience and her openness to diversity and culture.
I think by the time we see the script, we should be able to get something. But I definitely ordered the two books, right?
Okay.
Two books. So I'm going to look through them and see
what's what.
Especially is going to look at the anti-bullying and teasing and trying to incorporate it in our culture. I need to have a whole look at the book.
But we're not. But just remember, we're not trying to really incorporate it. But
No.
looking at it to see whether
what
the activities. Okay, good.
Right. So I need to write. So this is why I wanted to look at it, because I need to see the activity in its entirety. I need to be able to see the book in its entirety so that I can figure out or decipher exactly what is it,
what she's doing.
Okay. Right. So that is it. So
and I think that Brenda Boyd Bell now should look more at cultural responsiveness and social emotional.
Yeah.
Which will be more, the reason why I also have her is because I want to show that kind of perspective.
Right.
I want to kind of show more of our perspective, if you will. But it's a good thing to have both perspectives because, in this world, they have to both come together at some point. Probably that I'm 105 years old.
Right. And I kind of like the persona dolls.
I like that a lot. And I have that book at my house.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh, I have that book at my house, Anti-Bias Curriculum. I just have to go home and start to throw out stuff, and it will.
Again?
I'm throwing out. No, I'm not finished. I just began. Oh, you don't know I'm the throw out lady. I just began.
Listen, you're not far from me. I throw
I
everything.
just began. I
I
just
told my
began.
I had to tell my children if they don't put themselves straight, even they I will throw out too.
No, but everyone in my house, my husband knows if he goes away or whatever, and stuff is not straight, like I get into this mood that be throw, lock up your stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you have stuff just dangle here or there, whatever, there's paper here, paper there with no organization, all those things will be wrapped up in a bag, put in the closet or whatever. Put in the closet. Yeah. So now I'll remember the justification and I will get that to you. God, I hope I remember.
Right. So the justification but in that also put a date. Even if she does not present on that date, we need to put a date in so that when we put it in the system,
we'll put September the 10th.
Okay.
I don't know what day that is, but we'll just put September 10th.
Right. For Boyd, September 10th is a Saturday. So you could put the 12th, 13th, whatever. Okay. For Boyd, it's I spoke to her and she said she's fully booked now. So we spoke about looking at that first week in October.
Okay, but we can't write the first week in October.
Right. So then when you speak to her.
Hers will be September the 15th.
Okay.
Even if she doesn't do it, I couldn't care less. Hers is September the 15th. End of story, done. And we're talking about her preparing the webinar. That's it. Do you understand?
Right.
So when I speak to her, I'll tell her that hers is September the 15th and it's just for funding purposes.
Right. So that's fine. Let me see what else I have to tell you. So Monday and Tuesday, so they're cleaning up the rooms, which is kind of okay. Monday and Tuesday, we have a teaching strategies workshop in the Bronx.
Okay, I'm not supposed to be there. No.
No. Just the teachers and myself.
Because there's no way for me to get there. Go on.
Right. So I won't be in that the education department meeting they're having on Monday. I sent an email out to Dr. Paul to let her know that. So I won't be in that meeting on Monday. Will be in the Bronx.
When is school open? I thought school was opening up like the 28th.
No, the 25th. That's right. Get with the program. Wherever you are, get with the program.
I gotta see September 25th is the first day. I've got to see if I have class. Knowing me, I'll have classes that first day. But I mean, I'll just do my syllabi. I'm not even worried.
Right. So that's that.
Yeah. And what are the dates now?
Well, that's the dates I wanted to tell you about. But my mind, I forget.
You mean the September the 22nd date?
No, the 15th, you just said the 12th and the 15th for the presentation.
Okay.
Right. That's what I needed to make sure you include when you do
the justification letter.
Right.
I'll probably do it tonight because I'm kind of, okay, first day of school. And JC, that's you. I probably forget who JC is, but it's you. Juanita Crafton. And be absent 9 on 8/22.
All right. So
how's everything going so far?
It's going somewhere.
How is the air conditioning?
The air conditioning is working. I just had to turn it off because it's so loud and I won't be able to hear. It's a noisy air conditioner. So wait a
minute. They didn't fix the real air conditioner. They gave you a second air conditioner?
No. The real one is fixed.
It's fixed, but it's fixed to sound like a mechanic.
Yeah, it has always been loud. Last year, I did not experience it a lot because by the time I got into my office, it was already fall. There wasn't much need for it.
Right.
So now,
right. True. That's true.
The irritation of it just going on and on. But things are coming along. We Rochelle is still putting in the orders, so we won't get stuff because of all the foolishness.
Right, and
so
that's the one thing I have to do is I have to call the accountant. I want to get that done But when I look at certain things, I said to you that, what did I say? I said $50 an hour.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay, and when I looked at something, I saw that they were paying somebody $60 an hour, and I was like,
Uh,
should we just say $60 an hour?
we'll say 50. If they don't say 50, then we go 55. So we halfway.
Okay, so I'll say to them between $50 and $60 an hour,
Yeah.
and we'll see. All right,
Right.
and I hope they just agree, and we can just, because I'm just going to give them. You're just giving them the papers, and they have to fill in the Excel sheets, right? That's the idea.
Right.
If you want them to, Rochelle gives them the paperwork, and they just fill
Right.
in
All
the
the
Excel
paperwork,
sheets,
all the
right?
information and whatever.
Now, we got permission to do a SharePoint,
Right.
and I haven't seen anything about it. So I'm going to ask, because something like that should be going on the SharePoint. Do you understand?
Right.
It
Right.
shouldn't be any issues. It should just go right on the SharePoint.
Right.
I'm going to ask them to put the SharePoint under the Department of Development and Special Education. I will tell you why. Because it shouldn't be something that everyone has access to.
No, I totally
Okay.
agree.
So, and I think that if it's under the School of Education, I think it's just going to be more access problems. So
Right.
we're going to put it underneath the department. I'm going to ask her to put it again underneath the Department of Development and Special Education. This way we have a little bit more control over it. That way. Okay.
But so far, just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, I just can't wait to do the coding city and say, click, click, that's done.
And you know what? I wanted Miss Keisha to be there when you were doing it, but Miss Keisha is out for the next, she's not coming back until September thing. She had surgery today, actually.
She had surgery?
Mhm.
But you're going to tell me that she's getting married. That's why she's not coming back.
No, she got married already.
But see, who told me? Oh, I'm not there anyway.
Right. There are some interesting things happening here. So
Wait, fill me in. So wait a minute, she got married. Is she preggoed yet?
no, she's having surgery.
Okay.
I don't know if she would be able to have any. I
You
don't know if she'll
know.
be able to have any babies.
Because of the surgery that she's having? Let's see.
I don't know exactly what is.
Let's see. Let's wait, because you have two.
Yeah.
Let's wait. And a million eggs. And all you need is someone who can really fire them well.
Yeah.
You know?
But
Fire.
all I'm going to tell you is that some interesting things are happening.
Okay, no. I'm going to go person by person. Your door is closed. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, and I'm in Jamaica, so all right, so that's one person. So she's married. So she's living with her husband now. Oh, okay. So she's in marital bliss. All right. The next person is Stacey Ann, your girl. How is she? What happened to her? She left her husband.
I think she did. But this was a number on her face.
What do you mean?
Whatever happened, that lash, that knock, that thing.
Whoa. She got a mark on her face?
No, not a man. Her jaw
Her jaw was what?
broken.
And she didn't say, she said it was him who broke her jaw?
But she said, I think when she went to the hospital, she said it was an accident.
She's still with him?
No, I don't think they're together.
If you beat me, don't ever go to sleep at night.
But there's a lot to that story, Dr. Right? There's a lot. I mean, I
You
strongly
think she was being beaten consistently?
No. I think it's on both of their parts. Both of them are aggressive towards each other, more her so.
Or you
And
think
then
it's more her based upon what she said to you?
Not me. I'm getting that secondhand. Nothing was directly said.
Okay.
But
you can't go in a man's face and think that it's not going to work.
It's more of, I'm defending myself and then I hit you, and then the strength of my So
They need counseling. Because you can't beat somebody who decided to marry. And if so, then you can't sleep next to them. Are you crazy?
listen, listen.
So
There's
you
a
think
lot.
it's both of them
Both.
are volatile.
Right.
Okay.
More her than
And
him.
him. And he couldn't take it anymore. And he went, bam! They need counseling. They need some old women counseling. You can't do that.
Listen, I don't think counseling will help this one. I think this one is gone.
Okay, so that one is gone. All right. How's my daughter Jade doing?
It's fine.
How's my grand god baby Violet?
She's fine.
Okay, so that one is
Everybody
fine.
is.
How's Miss Edith doing?
She's good.
Okay, all right. So everything is going along. She's gotten all the flyers out. She's done the
Right, and then we have a table.
She redid the flyer, and they have a flyer out now about joining the center to increase your time to study.
Right,
Have that one out. Okay, good.
right, and then we have a table. There's tabling on the 14th.
Okay.
So she has that again. It's like,
Okay. All
but
right.
it's the two's coming along slowly but surely.
How many twos we have now? 5?
So we have about 5, but some of them cannot start on time because like one's birthday is the 19th of September.
That's fine.
Yeah. So Miss Edith she's really trying her best to get all of them in.
Okay.
To get all of them in, but it's that most people want younger than 2, which we don't have. You know, we don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't have that. But if we can get them as they turn 2, then that's
Right. So that's what she's doing. So she has a list of parents where the children will be turning 2 between now and December.
good.
So she's trying to. So she's always in contact with them to see how she
and
can.
even if they start, let's say they start, right? And they're not, they can't start at all because they're 1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We cannot have them.
I said that to myself as I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Okay.
So-
How's Miss, all right. How's Miss Keisha? How's Miss, oh Lord of mercy. What's her name now? Good
Miss
God.
Whitney.
No, not Miss Whitney. I'm still Miss what's her name? Connolly? Allison.
Miss Allison is fine.
Okay,
She's fine.
She's still Miss
I'm trying
Allison.
we're just waiting for more information so she and Rashida can do their CDA.
Okay, fabulous.
Yeah.
How's Miss Rashida?
She's good. She's
Okay.
good. We have a couple of children for the after school program.
Okay, so how many children?
I think we have about 4 or 5.
Okay, that's wonderful. We need to get that up to 10 or 15.
Yeah, we have about 4 or 5. And we have
How about the weekend program?
the weekend program. So far we have 1 parent. So what Miss Edith is going to do is to go to the nursing department.
Mm-hmm.
Most times the nursing department need that they have the Saturday thing. But the thing is that in us trying to get that Saturday program, we need to find a very strong person. We need to find out that we would need to have at least 2 people. One of them would have to be certified because they would be here from 8 to 4.
You have to have 1 certified person there.
Yeah, 1 certified person and an assistant, and they have to be consistent in coming on a Saturday. It can't be something where Miss Juanita, I won't make it today, and then Miss Juanita has to leave her house and run down the road.
No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
So,
That's not gonna work. So,
I think we have about 2 or 3. I think we have about parents who have.
It's still relatively early. You understand? So
Right, and that's what I told Miss Edith for that, because a lot of students have not gotten the schedule as yet.
A lot
Some
of
students
students haven't
trying to get the
registered.
schedule.
That's something I have to do when I get off the phone, is to write all the students and ask them, you know, what are they thinking about registering? What are you planning to do with your life?
Yeah.
All right, so that's that person. Now to the other room now. How's Miss Whitney?
Miss Whitney is fine. She's fine. We have been so one thing I admire about them, I can see their growth and their willingness to learn. So we had a couple of PDs. I did a couple of PDs with them. We looked at higher order thinking questions, how to incorporate it in the
Fabulous.
classroom. We look at imaginative play. We looked at self-talk and parallel talk.
Absolutely.
So, and then we looked at the cross curriculum. So they have
Perfect.
a digital copy, they have a hard copy of it. We have been attending PDs. So, like last night, we had this PD on storytelling in the classroom, reading stories to enhance the children levels. So,
Vocabulary.
right, their vocab and so on.
Mhm.
So they have been very receptive to learning. So this week they had to plan the lesson for the whole of September.
Mhm.
So I met with them yesterday, and well, they shared it with me through Google. So we looked at the lessons, we looked at how you can, you know, change it around. We looked at the higher order questions. So I gave them the Bloom's taxonomy. I gave them, you know, so they have a lot of information. They have it in the Ella Baker Drive, and they have had copies of it also.
So who has the responsibility, the part that talks about higher order thinking and questioning, that deals with our focus on language? Who did you say was going to be doing language again? I'm not calling the person's name. Oh, you. Okay. I thought you were telling me not to call what's her name's name, because like she get in your car.
Yeah.
She gets in your car. I don't know what the woman has done to you, but
No. You can't listen. You can't teach if you don't know what you're teaching. You can't teach if you're going to not speak proper English. I mean, we all make errors and so on, but listen, there's some level of, yeah. So that's that. So, but everybody, I'm still waiting. Go down the line again. Who are you going to ask about?
no, I'm not finished yet. I'm writing that down. So language, I probably wrote it down before, but I'm gonna write it again. Language is you.
Mm-hmm.
Culture is Whitney.
Right, and science is Keisha.
And science STEM is Keisha. So what do
And
the rest of them do? Where's the math? Oh,
Rashida,
math is you.
Rashida is playfulness.
Right. Rashida's playfulness. So what do the other people do?
We don't know what we can give them today yet.
All right, Samantha, what's going on with her?
She's good.
She's good. So what is she doing? Nothing? Just looking pretty?
No. You can't look pretty. Because
So
come September, I expect you to teach more lessons. And I told both her and her lead teacher that.
exactly.
So I need you to teach more lessons. So I'll be, you know,
Okay.
in the classroom.
Okay,
Make,
so now I did Edith. All right, so what about Miss Dare? Wait a minute, let me see your face. What does that mean? What does that mean? You haven't stopped laughing. She's in there. How's she doing?
she's pretty good.
Can you share with me why you're laughing? I'm not understanding.
We are expecting.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Not long ago, I wouldn't even leave my house.
Addiction had such a hold on me. I was a stranger in my own life.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I learned about medication that could support recovery, and it's working for me.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Where Reach NJ was my first step.
When is the baby due?
I think February.
I didn't even know she was doing anything. That's just a sneaky one. Is she having twins? The sneaky ones usually have twins.
Lost one.
She was having twins? How did I even know that?
And lost one.
She lost the boy and the girl is still there?
I think it was a girl.
She lost the girl, so she still has the boy.
No, I think it was both. I don't know which one she lost. I don't know.
But she's still pregnant. So she's out all the time sick.
Not so much sick as appointments and so on.
So it's getting to you.
Listen, I can't do anything about it. I want to, but I can't. So but I'm engaging in a lot of self-talk. Juanita, you need to calm down. Juanita, you need to breathe. Juanita, you need to relax. Juanita, take your time. Hold Joanne at bay.
All right, let me ask you a question about the furniture. When is the furniture coming?
We don't know yet. We don't
I
know
wrote
yet.
the justification for that.
Yeah, the order has been placed. It's a matter of it coming here. Everything is a go slow, doctor, right? You know, New York City. Everything is.
I am
Listen.
happy. I'm happy that Ms. Deere is having a baby. The children are 16 years apart, so she's starting all over again. So if she wants to have a third one, she needs to do bang, bang.
Listen.
All these people say, I would never have another child. No, not me. Them is the one.
Juanita stands by that.
Yeah, you say that now. You be the next one.
Nope. 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 No. I'm ready to listen. I had my daughter out of the house so badly, you don't know. I know it's wrong of me, but I want her out of the house so badly.
No, but listen to me. Let me just say this to you. As someone who raised a daughter who is bright and well-spoken and a little bit too damn and I mean it like that, not just opinionated, but damn opinionated. I'll just give you this. There's a wedding that I'm supposed to go to now. So it's a black and white wedding. Who wears black to a wedding? Fine with me. I don't care. So everybody's supposed to wear a black dress. So I'm like, okay, I have a black dress. This is my daughter. Well, I have to see the dress to make sure.
Yeah.
And now she's telling me, no, she wants me to wear a long black gown. Why do I need to buy a long black gown? Where will I wear that again? Who goes anywhere
with a long black dress?
With a long black dress. Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
no, I understand. You'll miss her when she goes, though.
I will. I know I will. So I know it's wrong of me, but at the same time, I'm like, Lord have mercy, I need you to go. Because
I will take you out.
Well, yeah, I will commit murder.
But you know that with men, they always have a confrontation at some point with their son. Think about your brother and with your father. There's always this one time when the father says, oh, so you think you're a man with me in this house?
Right.
Confrontation. I'm not saying anything about confrontation.
Right.
With a girl child, you just haven't had your confrontation yet. With a girl child, there is always a, oh my God.
Everything. Did I say you're bipolar? She said, no, you bipolar.
That's what I'm saying. And you want to go like this, wait, I'm sorry. Then you start thinking like, you think I could say that to my mother? Watch me and you know. But that, that's how you feel. I get it.
She has no filter in her mouth when it comes to me.
What month was she born? April?
February. February 12th.
When are you born?
May.
Oh,
May
right. You're a Gemini. Yeah. Oh, so you're a little sensitive.
But she has no filter.
But you're also sensitive.
I am. I'm like, I don't need to see everything and anything. You don't have to show me everything. But you are my mother. Who else? I don't want to say it.
Oh,
But you are my mother. Who else do you want me to show?
so my son tells me every little nasty thing that happens in his, I mean, I'm like, I don't want to hear anything with your girl. I don't want to hear it. I don't like her and I don't want to hear it. He's not with her anymore. I could not stand this girl. She'd come over to the house and her breastises would be out.
Oh, foolishness.
And then she would be, you know, with him with the music and she's all down like this and I'd be like,
oh, Lord have mercy.
and then she sees me, the first thing she wants to do, kiss me. I'm like, why are you always kissing?
Listen, I think that
So-
was deliberate to show you that maybe hey, he's mine. I don't know.
No. She's always kissing me
Oh, you? Oh, no.
and hugging me up. I'm like, why are you always, come on.
No,
Like,
thank
oh, I just, hey, you're his mother and, I
No.
just, I'm like, no, I like you, stop it.
you. No, thank you.
Girl, just please. Anyway, she's out the picture, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm ready to throw mine out.
Yeah, you say that now.
I know I will miss her, but some days I can do without her.
Well, you will miss her. When I'm here, I miss them so much. I call them 2-3 times a day. My husband says, what is it now? What are you going to tell me? You're going to eat next? I said, what are you doing? He goes like this, like,
Fine.
I'm sitting down. So, you miss them. All right, so it sounds like we're pretty more or less, he said, I have to just get the accountant and the justification letter.
Right.
All right, I'll do that.
Okie dokie.
All right, we'll try to have one of these also with Boyd Bell at some point.
Okay, no problem.
All right, dear. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.